Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm meteorologist Michaela Smith. We have a lot to talk about in the weather, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Warming trend is arriving for this weekend for most of us across the U.S. Now, areas off towards the east are still going to be continuing to deal with a little bit cooler weather, but after a very chilly end to January, this is definitely something to look forward to. And our Raising Hail Tour is officially here. Yesterday was stop one at Edmond, Oklahoma. If you tuned into our live yesterday, we were live on location. We will be live on location again tomorrow in Denton, Texas. And if you were watching from Texas and you do not have your tickets just yet, go right now. We made a Facebook post a little bit earlier on today or wherever you're watching from, and we included that link. There are still tickets available. We want to see you there, and you can get the industry best 2026 hail forecast, where those big storms are going to be this year, which states are going to see 5-star events. We have all of that in that 2026 forecast that you will see tomorrow in Denton, Texas. So next stop, Denton, we will see you very shortly. And a pattern change is coming. We're starting to see more of these warmer temperatures arriving, and next week things do start to look pretty stormy. Here's a look, though, at some of these pictures we had yesterday from our Raising Hail Tour first stop in Edmond. You can see our CEO, Derek Klein, having really good conversations with people. Lots of roofers were out yesterday. This is one of our sales guys, Frank. So really good just day yesterday. We had over 100 people who attended our Raising Hail Tour in Edmond, making great connections, learning more about the roofing industry. And here were some of our giveaway winners. We gave away a cooler, a Yeti cooler. We had Oklahoma City Thunder tickets. So we always have fun giveaways in each city that we are going to. So if you also come on the tour, you may have a chance to win some of these fun prizes. Here's a look currently at these conditions across the U.S. You can see this cold front that moved through areas in Oklahoma yesterday, bringing some rain from the Florida Panhandle into Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. And we talked yesterday about people seeing some of this rainfall are going to have a chance to start to make some of that snowfall melt. That where we had more of that heavy snow, now getting some of that warmer rain moving in will help to aid that. That'll continue to be the trend kind of as we go throughout the day today. Up to the north, not seeing really a ton of snowfall now, but you can still see just this light haze. That's snow that's still on the ground. Those aren't clouds. What's moving? That's going to be the clouds. Everything else that just, again, kind of looks white and hazy, that's just snow that you can still see from space. And then here you go. There's a look at some of that rain right now from the Carolinas, extending through Georgia just south of Atlanta now, and moving through the Florida Panhandle. Few showers moved through Oklahoma this morning, closer to the Red River right now. Omaha seeing maybe a few showers as well. And then some rain right off the coast of the west, Seattle and Portland. Texas Aggie said, watching from Texarkana. As always, we are so happy that you are watching and joining us for today. Here's a look at these current temperatures. You can see it's still a little bit on the chilly side in areas like Oklahoma City. You're at 45, 50 in Dallas, in the 20s to the north, 21 currently in Fort Wayne, 53 in Atlanta, so kind of a cooler rain. And then you're in the 40s out to the west in Denver. Now, active alerts across the U.S. Not seeing a ton, definitely not like when we were talking about our big winter weather the last 2 weeks, but we still do have a few winter advisories to zoom in on. So areas from West Virginia into parts of Pennsylvania and Maryland, there is a winter storm watch that will go into effect Friday into this weekend. And then we also have parts of North Carolina yet again under a winter weather advisory. Now that's after last weekend when there was more heavy snow in the area, and that's going to start for tonight into tomorrow. Talking about a little bit more snow and freezing rain potential. Freezing rain is always what's going to cause those major issues. You've still seen the videos and heard about power outages in areas like Nashville. Some people still don't have power. Some people didn't get it back for 9, 8, 7 days. Oxford, Mississippi was another really hard hit area by our last impactful storm. So freezing rain, definitely not a good thing. We'll have to keep a close eye on that for the Carolinas. Here's where I'm showing you this now. So this is by tomorrow, right around noon. You're seeing some of this light snow, not expecting a ton of accumulation, but areas that you see more of this pink color, that's where I'm more concerned for a little bit of freezing rain. Now it looks like just a glaze, nothing like what we experienced again that caused all of those major damages in parts of Tennessee and Mississippi, but a little bit of glaze, a little bit of that ice, plus a little bit of snow could make those roads a little treacherous going into Thursday and especially Friday morning. So we'll have to keep watching this area, parts of the mid-Atlantic. And you can see especially West Virginia, that's where we pointed out earlier, they have that winter storm watch. By Friday into Saturday, they're expecting some pretty heavy snowfall, about 4 to maybe 6, 7 inches of snow possible. So you can see on this accumulation here, this darker blue, this is putting you closer to about 8 inches of snow possible in parts of West Virginia and the eastern side of Maryland. So we'll have to watch that as we head towards the weekend. Then you get to about Monday, not seeing a ton of snow moving in. Maybe a few locations. This is trying to put some snow in Oklahoma. I just don't really see that being a possibility. And right now the weather is pretty quiet. Here's a look at your Wednesday forecast, Thursday forecast, Friday forecast. You're catching on to the theme here. The rest of this week, things are really kind of settling down. We have a high pressure system that's in place, and that's keeping some of that active weather away. However, next week, things look like that's starting to change. The pattern's starting to shift. We're pushing some of that cold air out. We're bringing more of that warm, moist air in, and that's going to give us a chance to see some storms as we head into next week. So here's a look at your future radar for the rest of this afternoon. Here's a look at 2:30 later on. You're still seeing some of that heavy rainfall from the Carolinas across Atlanta into Florida. Later on this evening, this is when we start to see some of that snow, some of that freezing rain potential possible in North Carolina. So getting home tonight should be okay, but it's later on tonight that you start to see some of that snow and maybe that ice accumulation. So tomorrow morning, that's why we said those roads could be a little slick in areas like North Carolina, because you can see there's some of that snowfall, still a little bit of freezing rain. This is about 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then a lot of that starts to move out by noon. Here comes this next clipper, this next quick round of snow that we're seeing on Thursday. And then by Friday, really into Saturday, that's the area that will be starting to impact like West Virginia, Maryland. That's the area that we just showed you. So taking a closer look here really quickly, we'll play this one more time through. 5:30 this evening, there's some freezing rain, some light snow across the Midwest and the Atlantic. 9 p.m., still seeing some of that snow. Raleigh especially, it's kind of right around you and you already had quite a bit of snow maybe that you're still trying to melt. You may add just a little bit more, maybe an inch or so, and possibly some ice adding on to those totals heading into your Thursday morning. So there's that look. And you can see that next round of snow that we'll try to move in later on this week, Friday and Saturday. So where we're seeing the moisture still kind of dry over the next 5 days over the central portion of the U.S. This is this round in this system right now that's going to be for our weekend, but then I'm taking your eyes off towards the west coast, Vancouver to Portland, showing some more rain in the next 5 days. But where this rain is coming from, that's going to be our next system. So areas more in the central part of the U.S., that's where we'll start to see that pattern shift coming a little bit later on into next week. So like I mentioned, high pressure right now is really just dominating over a lot of the U.S. Those low pressure systems are staying well off to the northeast, and they keep getting close to the northeast and really the New England region, which is why they still are seeing some snow and some colder weather. But when this high pressure system moves in more over the central portion of the U.S., it's keeping that weather from being too chaotic as we head throughout the weekend. It's also keeping those storms away. Then we get to Saturday, there's a small dip right there in the jet stream, bigger dip again off the coast, and that's going to bring some snow chances by this weekend, but overall high pressure still sticks around. Then early into next week, you see the high pressure system starts to shove back off towards the west. Now it's back out in the Pacific, and this is when we start to see more of these dips in the jet stream. These are going to be our next chances early into next week that we'll have kind of these rounds of potential stormy days, or at least just seeing more moisture coming in for next week. So I'm going to show you these rounds that we're talking about. Round one, I'm going to highlight, again, the better chances to see rain across a lot of these areas. Now, am I telling you right now, for sure lock it in that this is going to be days that we're seeing severe weather? No. It's February. It's not March or April. June. We're not talking about severe weather season just yet. But I'm giving you, hey, this is the first kind of hint that we've really seen a chance to see storms in the last several days. So here's this first area that we're talking about. This is Monday evening across parts of eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri. By Wednesday morning, we start to see more moisture moving back in. Now, the timing of this makes me think that the severe weather chances are pretty limited since it's in the overnight hours. But then we see another round of possible, hey, snow for Colorado. They've really been needing that. That's around Thursday next week. But here's round two that we're going to watch again across parts of Texas, Louisiana as well. That's Thursday night. And then it kind of picks up a little bit more into Friday night. It's very typical, too, that we see these systems shift slightly to the east by the next day. So if it's in West Texas Thursday, Arkansas, Mississippi, it's usually likely that the storm system's there to you by about Friday, and then this will continue to move more towards the east. So then as you head towards the weekend into Saturday, those rain chances will continue to move more eastward. So as you look at this extended rain outlook, this is going into next weekend, February 9th through the 13th, you can see a lot of this green, which is wetter than average conditions. That means the chance for rain is really increasing. And that's also helping us say, hey, that means better chance for possible storms, especially when we really finally push a lot of this cold air out. It's been just chilling across the East Coast for the last about 3 weeks. Now you can see this has extended our temperature outlook, really keeping things nice and warm across the central portion of the U.S. heading into next week and next weekend. So you can see this warm up after kind of the end of this week. Here's Wednesday, still pretty chilly across areas to the east for this afternoon. Thursday, a nice divide across the U.S. from Chicago down to about Houston. If you were east of there, really cold tomorrow. If you are west of there, Billings, Denver, Oklahoma City, you're really enjoying that warm up. Story continues on Friday, a little bit cooler across the East Coast, but everyone else is really warming up. Saturday, you have another punch of cold air that comes and moves in, but it's just again for the Northeast. Even areas to the south are going to be a little bit nicer for this weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. And this warm air really is trying to shove this cold air out by Sunday. And then Monday, you do start to see that. You start to see a lot more warm air moving in and kind of sticking around across the U.S. And that's really going to be a lot nicer as we head into next week. So here's a look at some of these temperatures. Tomorrow morning, it's a little chilly for some, but a nice warm up in the afternoon. Lots of 60s across the central portion of the U.S., but a little bit colder off towards the east. Then it's still chilly Friday morning, but Friday afternoon, another, again, nice warm up, 60s and 70s. Check out San Antonio, 70 to the south, 42 in Kansas City, but colder to the north. That next punch of cold air comes in this weekend, so now you're at -1 Saturday morning in Detroit. Staying pretty chilly in the afternoon for the Northeast. Everybody else is seeing really nice temperatures this weekend. If you really haven't had a chance the last 2 weekends, either from snow or cold, being able to get outside. I know here in Oklahoma it was even cold last weekend. Now's your opportunity. Make those plans outside. It's looking pretty nice for this weekend. Cold Sunday morning, cold Sunday afternoon, again, if you're to the Northeast. But you were in the 70s in Oklahoma City, Dallas, Shreveport, New Orleans, 60s in Tallahassee. Things are looking really nice Saturday and Sunday, and then are also going to stay pretty nice as we head into next week. Now, I know my producer John has been watching very closely. Before we wrap up the forecast today, if anybody has any questions, you can always still put them in the comments. He'll pop them up here for me. And as always, make sure that you are following us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can follow us just at HailTrace. We're always posting fun things happening in the weather. Our big event right now, again, is the Raising Hail Tour. So you get to see all the different behind the scenes and just the action that's happening along the Raising Hail Tour if you're making sure that you're following us on all of these platforms. So give us a follow. Again, if you have not, we have our second location again tomorrow in Denton, Texas, so you don't want to miss out on that. And if you are a part of the Raising Hail Tour, maybe you're watching this for the first time because you met some of us yesterday. I hope that you are. And you're interested in getting a wind, hail, or tornado map, or maybe you're like, hey, I finally want to become a subscriber. I need to have HailTrace in my life before severe weather season begins. Now is the absolute perfect time. You can give us a call at 855-334-4245, or you can email us at info@hailtrace.com, or you can visit our website at hailtrace.com as well. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this forecast, we will be live on location tomorrow at Denton, Texas for the round 2 of the Raising Hail Tour. So make sure that you are joining us at the same time, same place. Well, not same place, we'll be different somewhere tomorrow. But at the same time, we can't wait to show you guys what's happening for the Raising Hail Stop 2 on Thursday. See you then.